Mine a little hot. Hot. Yo. Keep on talking, but you gotta...
Yo, man.
You gotta lick the...
We got it. Yeah, I'm on. Is the microphone
Pretend it's
on?
an ice cream cone. That's what they say in jail. Pretend it's an ice cream cone.
I don't want to...
Black Sunday. It's a black Sunday, bro.
So bad.
Yo, pop another cherry. You know, like just...
Why you gotta be that way?
Concentrate.
Hang on, I gotta check my notes. Check my
notes. Oh, God, here we go.
Don't hate.
Check my notes.
Hang on, the 4 notes I made. All right. Welcome to Rickshaw.
Oh my, you had to look at your notes to know what you were doing?
No, I wanted to know.
That's terrible,
No,
man.
that's not what I was doing. Okay. Welcome to Rickshaw Rampage, everybody.
Podcast
number 12.
Let me look at my notes to remember my introduction. Welcome to...
number 12.
Rickshaw Rampage 12.
I'm Zulf the Wolf, and this is our grumpy...
Yo, I'm Azfar Ali.
As always, grumpy.
Another episode. Another episode.
Why you gotta hate? Why you gotta hate? That's the.
I don't know why we gotta
That's our
do that.
tagline now. Another episode.
That never was our tagline.
Another episode.
It's
Hashtag
like
off the rickshaw.
It's like you have Alzheimer's. You just keep on repeating it.
It's don't hate. Don't
I
hate.
won't appreciate either.
So we're gonna start a new format. We're gonna do a rickshaw recall.
Thank God.
Rickshaw
Thank God.
recall.
There's some structure to this book because I just dumped 45 minutes of God knows what and pray that myself, who can't even listen to it through the editing, because someone will be like, hey, there was a part where the volumes were bad. I was like, listen, bro, I'll be honest. I listened to the first 2 minutes to make sure we say it's the Rickshaw Rampage, and the last minutes to say goodbye. And after that, I just go forget about it. Forget
about it. Okay, let's do a rickshaw recall. How was your week, man?
It was a disaster. My whole week will be based around the RickshawRant. Not my week, my last week.
Your last week?
Yeah, my whole rant is going to be about last week. And a team outing I had that I wish I never had. Basically, the Drake remix. So, the best I never had, that's exactly what happened to me.
Okay.
It was terrible.
So, I went for TIFF.
Oh, yeah. How was your week?
It was awesome.
I went for TIFF. I'm a show-off.
That's right. I'm bragging right now. I went to see TIFF 40th
crappy
anniversary.
movie.
No, I went to see The Martian.
Okay.
By Ridley Scott.
You only knew that because you saw him there.
That's true. He's a pretty old guy.
I can't wait to see The Martian.
So we'll do a rickshaw review right now.
Let's do it. What is the Rickshaw
Martian?
review?
The rickshaw review would be any sitcom or any...
Basically, it's your opinion on something you saw.
My review. My review on something that I watched. Maybe Narcos, maybe Sons of Anarchy. By the way, I finished Sons of Anarchy.
My rickshaw review is that Zulf takes too long to explain the rickshaw review.
Okay, so saw The Martian. Awesome movie.
I didn't know it existed.
I can't wait for it to come out so you can
watch
watch
it.
Are
they real?
I'm not going to give away anything. Don't be stupid.
Okay.
Don't ask dumb questions. No. Ridley Scott, though. The guy, I know, but I know we
There's rubbing elbows with Ridley Scott here.
Did, pretty much, like elbowed him. I'm like, no, but Ridley Scott is a very old guy, but he did a lot of great movies, like Thelma and Louise.
What, he was public relations
assistant? No, he did
assistant?
Thelma and Louise, but then he did...
that movie was terrible.
He did Gladiator.
Yeah, I like how you said he did great movies, and then you're like, Thelma and Louise, and I'm like, what about Gladiator?
No, that's what I was getting at. I was getting one of his best movies.
Let's forget about Exodus.
That's what I was gonna get
Exodus,
at.
or whatever.
Exodus was horrible. So was Prometheus. Was horrible.
How did you pronounce that correctly?
No, I got Googled.
Did you do Google pronunciation?
No, I did YouTube pronunciation.
Did you?
I like Prometheus. Prometheus. So Prometheus.
Prohibitive. No.
Prometheus is such
No. Primitive. No, Zulf.
So The Martian is awesome concept. It's really funny. It's really funny. It's got very interesting, intense part.
Who's in it? Who stars in it, bro?
Matt Damon, guy.
Okay, calm down.
Matt Damon. Like he was
our listeners off.
Crushed the role.
Crushed
the role. I was thoroughly impressed by his acting. I thought he was amazing.
You also tell us.
I don't want to tell you guys anything because you guys
not the movie, you luddu. Tell us about your TIFF experience, how you won tickets there to go there. You're not even doing that.
So, okay, here's what. I got the tickets from my company.
It actually means loser, but continue.
Yeah. I got the tickets from my company, and I said, oh, okay, so I took the wifey out for a date night.
You probably lied and said you bought her the tickets to show off. You should have done that, eh?
No, it says the company's name on it, so clearly not.
White out, bro.
But here's the funny part. You're absolutely right.
Put your finger over the company name.
Here's the funny part. We go there, and then I see a lot of Bell advertisements, because Bell's, like, I believe, the main sponsor, right? Like, clearly, Bell Lighthouse.
Guys, he meant advertising. Continue. No, so you know what I feel like when you speak sometimes? You know when they show a Hindi movie and the guy's speaking English and he's like, hello, sir, how are you doing? And then there's subtitles for that? That's what I feel like I gotta do sometimes, even though that's being a little racist.
Very.
Do you notice that whenever you watch?
I do.
When you watch an ethnic actor and they're like, hello, so how are you? And then, below the English subtitles like, he said hello. And I'm like, okay, bro. Like,
we got it.
We understand.
We got it.
We're not that stupid. But continue. You
So
got the tickets from your work. You're at TIFF. You're in Martian. Matt Damon and Ridley Scott are there.
Yeah, we saw the movie. Great movie.
Where were you sitting? Matt
8
Damon's lap.
8 rows from the stage.
Oh my God. Jander's closet. What? JC, bro.
What?
Jander's closet. That's where you're sitting. 8 rows from the... But the first 4 rows I heard are reserved for, like, people who matter.
The press.
Yeah, people
the
who
press
matter.
and all. No, but then they had
And
a
the brown
stage with a
people at the
podium and everything. So it's not like 8 seats like I'm looking up. It's a proper seating. The seats were amazing. But here's the funny thing. As soon as I get there, I'm like, I give the company's name and they're like, we don't have these seats. And I'm like, did they just give me counterfeit
Oh my
tickets?
God.
I'm
That would've been the
freaking out.
best.
I was like, I look like an idiot now in front of the wife.
No, maybe they realized who they gave the tickets to. And then they're like, oh, we don't want this guy.
And then,
what can we do? Sir, those tickets are not valid here. And then some white guy comes up behind you. There you go, Bob.
Yeah, and then she's like, oh, I just got to go and check where the seats are
So
located.
did you
And I
get
was
all
like,
aggressive to impress your wife? Excuse me.
No. I was like, I became more like,
Oh. When did you
sorry,
have to do that,
babe.
Zulf?
Sorry, babe. Let's just go to the Burrito Boys and have something to...
Oh my God, from TIFF to Burrito Boys?
But we didn't do it.
You would have won my heart.
But we did, because Burger Priest was right next to it. I want to go Burger Priest. But anyway, saw the movie. Awesome movie. Totally recommend it when it comes out on October 2nd for everybody else.
Did you think it was awesome because you got the royal treatment and it was free? What if you had to pay $25 for it in an AVX? Would you like it then? Yes or no question? Yes or no?
Yes.
You took a real long time to think about that. So you're paying $50 for you and your wife, basically.
Pretty much. And it was an amazing experience.
No, I'm talking about if you saw it in a regular theater at the high-end theater.
No, I go on a Tuesday night.
It's $50
I go to a drive-in, bro.
Forget
2 movies for one.
You're forced at gunpoint. Someone's like, you gotta watch this movie with your wife right now or you're gonna die.
And you want my ratings on that?
Yeah. What would you rate it then?
8.5 out of 10.
Wow, that good?
It is really that good.
You know what? I've never even heard of it.
What?
Yeah, but then again, I'm not watching much TV because I'm on the Netflix.
It's based on a book, right? Like it's.
Is it a comedy, action, thriller?
I want to say it's action, but
guys, that means it's a thriller. This guy, he doesn't know.
There is no thriller.
This guy,
it's action
this guy
and it's got comedy.
As a slave was a comedy.
No, oh my God! I never said that. I never said that.
Look at this, Azfar. Look at this guy running. Thinks he's gonna be free in 12 years.
So that guy, the guy from
10 years.
The guy from 12 Years of Slave is there too in the movie, and I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Oh my God, that's a good segue. Seriously?
Yeah, he's there in the movie too. He's even
was he good?
Danny Glover's son's in the movie. I don't know his name either. Michael Glover? I don't know.
Oh, you just made that up.
I don't know.
Baseball Glover?
No, I don't know. I don't know what his name is, but he's in the movie too. The guy from Dumb and Dumber, I was telling you on the phone.
Oh, we
not
still
Jim Carrey, the other guy.
We still
oh man, we should have googled it.
Jeff something.
Whatever. He's there. He does an awesome.
Matthew McConaughey. That's who he's
no,
talking
that
about.
is.
I want to make the movie.
There is no Matthew McConaughey in the movie.
He's
right.
McConaughey. Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds makes a guest appearance. He's the Martian.
No, he's not.
No. That's what happens.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
I don't know. So that's good. You had a good time at TIFF. Were you starstruck at any point?
Yeah, I was. Well, like,
did you have a bromance crush on Matt Damon? Was your wife, like, she must have been a little...
Yeah, she was. When he came on, she's like, woo, woo, woo. I'm like, calm down there, Chinese. Calm down.
Did she forget who you were at that moment?
No, she didn't.
What if he waved to her and then she's like, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know who this guy is.
No,
Do you think your wife would change if he came up to her and he's like, hello, how are you? And he kissed her hand? Do you think at that point she would ignore you?
I'll probably punch him in the face.
Oh, wow, the jealousy.
Oh, hell yeah.
What would you say if he's like...
I'm like, yo, Matt.
What if he looked at you? What if he looked at your wife and he looks at you and he's like, you could have done better? Like me, what would your response be to Matt Damon?
I'll punch him in the face, guy.
You don't have a chance to. Your hands are tied behind your back.
Yo, what kind of scenarios are these?
You're too close.
What kind of scenarios are these?
They're
I'll headbutt him.
Very unrealistic
I'll headbutt him straight up.
You can't. Your head's being restrained.
Yo, what is this?
With a leash.
Why am I?
With a leash.
I'll kick him.
His security.
I'll kick him in the nuts.
Your legs are tied with a string. It's a very...
Then I'll just fall on the floor and I'll start doing the worm. What's wrong with you? What kind of scenarios are these?
It's a very kinky security team he rolls with. It's called 50 Shades of Grey. his security team. It's
Talking
really
about
demented.
security, here's my rickshaw recall for last week. And the recall is that, do you think a lot of people are, I don't know what that means.
Wrap it up, bro.
I'm doing
It's
it.
10-minute segments.
Yeah, so I did it. So I'm doing another segment right now.
Oh,
That's
are
what
we?
I'm
So
trying.
let's-
Yeah, Rickshaw Recall.
Oh, okay.
So the recall segment, the other part of the segment was, do you think a lot of people are going crazy with the check-ins on Facebook nowadays? You know, like when you go to a...
Oh, yeah. Now
go
I
to
just
a
got-
restaurant.
I thought you meant with the airport when they have to check in.
Oh, no, like when, we went to the TIFF.
I hate
My
that.
wife
That's just
checked
showing
in.
off. That's just showing off.
See,
like, I don't show off. I'm like, Azfar just checked in at a Burger King's drive-thru. I don't want to shame people by showing them that I'm going to the Burger King.
But if you went
to?
to TIFF? Would you check in at TIFF?
No, I've never checked in, bro. I've never done it.
Yeah, and I.
You know what?
know.
The truth is, I don't know how to. That's why.
No, I know you have not, because I see your Facebook status.
I don't know how to.
You're not that so active on your Facebook.
One tweet.
One tweet a week.
Yeah, and it's a retweet. Someone tweets something about me. I'm like, thank you.
No, but here's the thing. I saw somebody retweet that. Retweet. Somebody check in at.
That's worse if they retweeted what you're gonna say. I already know.
Yeah, they checked in
Stealing.
at Mecca for the pilgrimage right now, and they
Tell our
checked in.
listeners about what you're talking
So
about.
once a year, Muslims go around for pilgrimage to Saudi Arabia and Mecca, and
Hajj.
Or Hajj, yeah.
Drop the H word, bro. Hajj.
Hajj.
You're like a Wikipedia.
But and then this guy checked in saying I'm at Mecca, and he checked in, and I was like, bro, you're there for religious, spiritual reasons.
Thank God he didn't take a selfie with the Kaaba. That would have been a little too much.
You never know. I still haven't seen. Maybe he doesn't have internet. Maybe he doesn't have Wi-Fi there because he's still around there doing his pilgrimage. But maybe he comes back with those photos. I don't know. But he did this check-in. So just for people to understand what it is, it's like going and doing. I don't know. Would it be equal to doing a check-in in a Vatican City?
Yeah, it's something religious.
But would you, like, if you're going to meet the Pope, would you just check in and say, just took a selfie with the Pope? I don't know. I find that.
I bet the Pope would do that because this Pope is pretty modern, right?
That's true.
He's social media.
Would it be borderline blasphemy?
No, it's not. Because he's just. I guess he's kind of proud, but you're taking it as a way that he's kind of being a show off.
No, no, not at all. I'm actually thinking, why are you doing that? Like,
I was just gonna call him out on it and be like, prove it. Prove it, bro. Prove it. You're lying to me, bro. I just spoke to you. You're lying to me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I don't know. There's too many people that do these check-ins, and when they do it, half the time it is for recognition. They want someone to be like, "Oh my God, look where they are. Oh, look where I'm not." Like, am I gonna check in at my own toilet? Just took a dump, like at my own house. Like, it's too much information. But I guess in his case, it's more.
Maybe it was a proud moment for him that he's
it's
finally.
his first time, right?
It's his first time. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's mixed emotion. I just think that.
What did you comment on Facebook?
No, I just said.
You gave the like. I saw you gave the like.
I gave the like.
You should have done the dislike.
I gave the like. I was like, hey, thumbs up, great job. Thanks for letting us know that you've reached there safely. And maybe that was his intention.
Maybe you should have commented, but like, thanks for extending the invite to me, buddy. You know, just to make him feel guilty.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thanks, because you know what? I want to be a good Muslim too. Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I just took it the other way, and I just think that, and then it made me. I sat down and realized
it stopped recording.
What are you talking about?
It did.
It just jumped down again, all over again.
Oh my God! I don't know what's going on here, buddy.
How much have you got already?
Keep on talking.
So I just think that after that I sat down and I realized, I was like, hey man, I think these check-ins are kind of going crazy. So maybe we need to, take it easy with the check-ins. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you guys can comment.
Oh no, we're recording over what we were talking about earlier. Oh, this is terrible.
So like we're having a double shot, like dubs.
No, what we talked about before, it's recording over that. Our previous conversation has been deleted.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yo, man!
That's freaking brilliant. Anyway,
that's why we're not in IT. We got to start. We got to start again. You keep on talking.
No, we can do it. We can do it offline after we finish the Periscope. You can do the back for. But my own thing is that I just think that check-ins were going crazy and nuts at that point, and at that religious occasion, maybe his intentions were different. But I respect that. But I just think I would not do that. But which brings me to our next segment and our final segment for today, because I am really honored that. Not for the last 12 episodes. For the last 11 episodes. Hang on.
Zulf, I'm going to have to disappoint you. We're going to have to start from the top. It's done. it taped over the previous
Okay,
segment.
it's all right. We'll start with RickshawRant, and then you can do the edits. Because we don't have live viewers right now, so just record.
We're only going to have the RickshawRant.
Okay, that's fine.
I guess that's what it was meant to be this time.
Okay, that's fine. Let's record it. Tell me when you're ready, because I want to announce you in. So
I have a script here, man. I feel like I'm testifying.
No, yeah, you go with your script, but I just gotta do this. So let me know when you're ready.
Keep on talking, bro. I got to do some technical stuff here. The uncomfortable situation.
I don't know, man. I finished Sons of Anarchy. I'm really proud of that. I finished Sons of Anarchy in 1.5 months. I could have done it sooner, but I was busy in my day job. So I was busy with that, and I could have. Otherwise, I was crushing like 4 to 5 episodes every day, and on weekends I was crushing seasons. So I was really proud of myself. I crushed Sons of Anarchy. But here's a little disappointment, man. I feel.
Oh, thank God I'm back. That was very painful to listen to that.
Sons of Anarchy.
What was that, bro? Were you doing a confession in a church?
I literally was.
You looked at the Periscope like you were talking to a preacher, and you're like, Father, forgive me, I have sinned. He's like, I did. I have watched 3 seasons of Sons of Anarchy.
No, I watched 7 seasons of Sons of Anarchy in a month. And
how many seasons is it?
7.
In a month? Bro, how many hours of TV is that?
That's a crazy amount of hours.
No wonder you have to take your wife to TIFF so she can forgive you.
I had to. But talking about forgiveness, I would like to extend and be and really happy at this point that for once the last 11 episodes that I have been. I can
do it.
No,
confidentiality.
You've been bouncing out of my rants, my Rickshaw
really
rants.
Have a rant. They're more just like
observations. Yeah, like
why
I like
is
observations.
It cloudy today?
No, it's not. What about that guy who picked his nose and did a Bollywood?
And you're watching them,
ladies and gentlemen. I give to you our first time, and probably the only time.
I'm not angry anymore. I'm just
RickshawRant.
I'm more angry
by
at
the
your
grumpy Azfar Ali.
I'm more angry about
Take
your
it away,
introduction.
buddy. It's all you. All you.
I'm more angry about your introduction than I am about the actual rant.
I want to hear.
Why did you have to make it so dramatic, bro?
Because, bro, the way
you're building it up.
You told
I don't have Ricky Ricardo. I think that was podcast number 8. I didn't have his time of his life. I had the opposite. I had the worst time of my life.
Which is the best story
I've
ever heard, and I want you to share with the listeners.
We don't have enough time.
Bro, we just started. What do you mean we don't even have enough time?
We're at minute 41 in.
Yeah, you have 9 minutes. Go.
To fill.
Tell me what happened. What happened at your team event outing?
Why do you got to do the quotations? Why do you got to do the quotations?
Go for it.
Like I was a victim. I don't know. I didn't know what I signed up for.
So I remember you telling me your room. Start from there, bro. You entered your room.
Okay, fine, man. You want to hear the truth? You want to bring out the ugly side?
I want to bring.
You want to bring out the beast? You want to bring out the anger? You want to bring out the rant? You want to bring out the heat? The disappointment?
All I'm hearing is talk, but I don't hear the freaking rant. So just go for it.
So I think because of where I am right now, which is employed, and in case one of my coworkers
nobody listens to this
accidentally podcast. Two people, and they're probably my
we
boss
were 6 before,
and the note taker. that 6 was just that was playing with us.
So I know you met, and I'm gonna go because you're like taking your own sweet time, even freaking building this anticipation. Tell us about the reverse racism you faced at your.
Okay, so I went to a team outing. So last week I was told that we were going to a fancy chalet.
So it's like a sales forum?
Right? Off-site training.
Okay.
So where I work, they were like, they're French, so they're like, we're going to go to a chalet. So we get to the chalet, and I realize chalet is the French word for the English word broke-ass rape cabin. Because that's what it was. Bro, we pulled up in the middle of God knows nowhere, where we were going to either be eaten alive, raped alive, or both. And both of those scenarios were the only 2 scenarios that were going to end up in the 3 days that were there. And these people were like, oh, this is beautiful. And I'm like, is there something wrong with their vision? Because I'm looking at where we're staying, and it looks like...
You'll describe as the place.
I don't want to describe the place. I'm trying to black it out. Like, you guys see Men in Black? Remember whenever they see the Men in Black and someone sees something and the Men in Black don't want them to remember it? They flash that thing at them. I wish that could have happened every minute of that trip. I wish someone could have stuck that up my butt and it could have erased anything that happened. That would have been less painful than everything that I had to witness and be a part of while I was on this chalet trip. So you know one thing I learned? You know how you get a brown person to get to a cottage?
Yeah.
You lie about saying you're going to the cottage. So they never said that they were going to a cottage, right? So when I got there, I'm like, hey guys, this is not what I was told. And they're like, we know, because you would have never came along. So they had punked me.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So I get there, we open the doors to the rape cabin, aka chalet.
So before how many guys, how many girls?
Too many guys.
Okay, so we're gonna say 10?
10 guys and 2 girls,
Okay.
right? Maybe 3 girls because I started acting like one. The minute I got there, I was like, "Ah! Ah!" I started screaming.
Okay.
Oh, first of all, I was like the Amazing Race because I had landed in Montreal, but I had no way to get to the chalet, aka rape cabin, because my company was too cheap to pay for a taxi. So I had to wait for someone to pick me up. I phoned 2 people. They said they couldn't do it. So I was like, how am I going to get there? Am I going to hitchhike there? Which is probably safer because I probably get lost and end up somewhere safer. But some guy luckily picked me up. We drove down there. We opened the doors to the rape cabin. And to my horror, it had like moose's heads, chandeliers, rocking back and forth. It had like deer rugs. It had trap doors.
Trap doors?
Yeah, I think everything was a trap door. Everything I stepped on, right? And then I was wondering, I'm like, where are we going to sleep? And they're like, that's a good point. They're like, your names are on your doors. So everyone started running around. They're like, oh, yeah, look, I got this. Oh, we all excited. And then I was like, where's my bed? I can't find my bed. Where is it? What? I'm like, excuse me, I think you forgot. She's like, no. So then one of these guys who was there, he opens this small little closet.
Like a janitor's closet?
No, that's a little bigger, even smaller. It looks like a small storage room, right? And he's like, oh, no, guy. Oh, no. Well, he's French. Oh, no, Guy. Oh, no, Guy. Oh, no, Guy. And I was like, what's wrong? He's like, bro, look where you're sleeping. I'm like, what? I opened that closet. The door slides like this. I wish it permanently just didn't open. And to my horror, there were bunk beds.
Bunk beds?
Bro, and these weren't even... Bro, they weren't human bunk beds. They were hobbit bunk beds.
No.
Bro, I couldn't even put my leg on there. Like my whole... And what was worse is my bunk buddy...
You had a bunk buddy? Didn't you ask for a separate room?
Obviously, those rules were never obeyed. No one... It was straight to delete. Us for his demands. Delete. He's not the man. I was sleeping with a guy who had sleep apnea and sleeps with a machine.
And that mask.
So he told me that his snoring is so bad. Listen to this.
Okay.
So bad. Ask me how bad.
How bad?
Ask me how bad.
How bad?
So bad that his goddamn girlfriend doesn't want to sleep with him. So it makes you think that me, being me, wants to sleep with him. And bro, he put that on.
But you're so particular about...
His snoring sounds like the guy was dying. He was like... And when he put that mask on, bro, he sounded like Darth Vader with asthma. It was scary. And I'm like, I am not sleeping with this. So I ran out, and they were like, oh, what's your problem? You're being difficult. And I was like, yo, tabernacle. That's the only French word I know, which means exactly what you think it means. Right?
GFY.
I got so upset. Luckily, there was this one room. I opened the door, and the door creaked open. It was crazy. I'm like, hey, is that a... Bro, the minute I said that, I thought someone was behind the door. All you hear is... And the door opened. I'm like, that's not good. That's not good. And then someone's like, oh, look, a couch. And the couch folds out. I'm like, oh, look, I'm not going to sleep here. They fold out the couch.
So why didn't the guy with sleep apnea take that room?
He's like, bro, I don't want to sleep here. This room looks like an exorcism room, which it probably was, bro. It had stained glass with, I was praying was ketchup, right? I was ketchup. Could have been blood. I don't know. Spiders hanging from the ceiling, and if they had fell on me and bit me, I would have not got superpowers. I would have been super paralyzed from whatever these spiders, the venom they had in them or whatever.
And you were in the forest, right? This cabin's in the forest?
This cabin's in the forest. And then my door, I have a door facing the outside of the cabin. Double bonus, double horror story, it does not lock. So at any time, a bear could just be like, oh, this is easy. I didn't even have to know.
So your door
is facing outside.
And it doesn't lock.
It doesn't lock.
Oh my God.
It does, right? it makes you think it locks once you close it. But if you tap it, it's like, hey, come in.
Like, there's not even one of those, like, the regular handles, nothing. It's
to
just
make
like,
matters worse, it was a sauna because it was, remember, Satan's bedroom, right? But there was a godforsaken, an angel had left an AC unit. High tech. This thing was probably worth more than the goddamn cabin itself, right? But the problem was there were no outlets, bro.
What?
There were no outlets.
So you had this box just sitting there without, and you're just...
I was like, who's the electrician in this cabin? Because he forgot one room, and the one room that matters. Bro, you know how scared I was?
Could you not get an extension cord from somewhere and connect it out?
No, it wasn't viable.
So how were you charging your laptop, your phones, and everything?
Out in the hall, so people could see who's calling me. They could see the notes I'm making about this experience. They could go through my phone, look at whatever pictures I had, and laugh and be like, hee hee hee, ho ho ho, hee hee, whatever, bro.
Bro,
I slept with the light on.
The first night?
With one eye open like a pirate. Because I was so scared. Even in the morning, they're like, why did you sleep with the light on? I'm like, because I wanted to ensure that if I went to sleep, I would wake up. Because I know if I went to a deep sleep, I would die. Because you know what scared me? The night we got there, we're all outside a fire. And one of the guys comes up to me and he's like, yo, guy, you better watch your back. They're going to do something. I was like, what is that supposed to mean? He's like, bro, because we're new, they're going to initiate us. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, just hold your, I don't know.
Hold
if he
your
said,
ground, like hold your ground.
He's like, hold your nuts or hold your butt cheeks. I was like, what is this? He's like, bro, I'm just doing it for your sake.
Were you in jail?
It would have been better because I would have known what happens in jail.
You would expect it coming.
Bro, it was just so scary just sleeping. And then,
but this guy was speaking proper English? Because I know you had a lot of French.
Yeah, he was. But the problem was he spoke gangsterism. Because he saw the movie N.W.A.
Oh.
He's Lebanese, so he's like, yo, bro, I'm N.W.A. I'm like, I'm pretty sure they were black. And they had
four or five
and they had talent, right? You're none of that. Right? You're a loser. You're right. You're L.W.A. loser with an attitude. You're not. He's like, no, bro, Lebanese with an attitude. I'm like, that's called Hezbollah. It's already taken. So calm down, right? Calm down. He's like, bro, you don't even know. He's like, I'm the Lebanese Christian army. And I go, I believe it because I haven't seen any. Right? And he got so mad. But he's the one who's like, yo, I'll protect you. But then it got creepy because...
What if he was one of those guys who was with him and then he sells you out and says, surprise.
No, but you know what? Forget about that. You know what was creepier? So after he said that, late at night, everyone was singing, right, near the bonfire. They started playing songs.
Bro, like singing?
And
like,
they started,
like 12?
And they started singing Girls Just Want to Have Fun. You know, girls just want... But they're French, so they're like... Just don't know. I don't even know how they say it in French, but they have that. But you know what was creepy? That guy who was L.W.A. looked at the girls and was just like, girls just want to have fun. Oh, yeah. I was like, bro, that's so creepy.
It did a Zulf move.
It got so creepy. And then they were like, girls just don't want to have fun. He's like, girls just want to have fun. And everyone was getting creepy. Even the guys were like, yo, bro, calm down. It was a very, very uncomfortable. And there's just too much, man. There's just too much that happened during that trip that I'm trying to forget.
I know you busted your arm up.
Yeah, we were playing. So this is what you're talking about as a victim of racism. So my manager is probably the most ignorant piece of junk I've ever met in my life, right? So he likes teasing me, right? He'll always be like, yo, how's your cousins doing ISIS? I'm like, you'll find out when they come to dinner, right? And they carve you instead of the turkey. So I always say that, and then he gets offended. He's like, bro, why'd you have to say? I'm like, bro, why did you have to say that, right?
But is he playing with you, or is he just?
Bro, he calls me Packy. And
that's the N word for us.
Bro, I told him, and then he's like, what are you talking about, Packy? I'm like, I already told you, don't say it again. He's like, and he's a pork chop, right? He's Portuguese, so I'm like, shut up, people. But I'm like, that's an insult if I call you a pork chop, because that's an insult to all Portuguese people.
Right? We know some really good ones.
Right? Not really. So we were playing badminton. This guy comes out with like this dot on his head, right?
No.
And he looks at me. He's like, "Look, I'm your people." And then everyone on the rest of the team started doing that racist Indian music and accent. You know, like dung 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 dung.
Why do they have that same?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, who's
same?
Is there a racist Indian copyright artist? Where he's like, wait. Are you trying? Listen,
Ding, ding,
listen.
ding, ding.
Are you trying to be racist against Indians? It's not ding a ding a ding. It's ding a ding a ding a ding. Okay, get it right. All right, let me go sleep with my cousin's sister. You got that? No, but yo, he started doing that, and then he's just like, when we were having the barbecue, I don't eat any of the meat they brought because it wasn't halal. So he's like, look at this guy. You know, he doesn't eat cows. This guy, he worships them. And I'm like, bro, those are Hindus.
Yeah.
You're so stupid. He's like, whatever, man.
Different religion.
Different
brown people.
They're your brothers. They're your brothers, right?
Probably they are.
Right? And then I was like, okay, like, just stop being so ignorant and stupid.
Was he high? Like, was he drunk?
No, he was just Portuguese, right? It's the same thing. Like, he was ignorant to the, you know what? He thought he was funny. You know.
He was trying to play the fool.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. No, he's the fool. Forget about playing the fool. So
trying to get the attention.
He's one of those guys, you know, like egomaniacs when it comes to sales. He's like, tells a joke and expects everyone to laugh. And everyone's like, I'll laugh because I want to keep my job.
So what, did he not pick on L.W.A?
No, he can't because he wants to be part of L.W.A, which is even worse. He would come up to him and he's like, yo.
What?
He's like, you're so cool. And I'm like, don't encourage that. And you know what's the best thing about L.W.A? So we were playing soccer and there's an Italian guy on my team. This guy tried to be a hero. He thought it was the World Cup. He thought we were at the World Cup.
He thought he was Messi?
He thought he was, no, that's Argentina.
Oh, that's right.
He thought he was, let's make up an Italian name. He thought he was Rigatoni, Biffaroni, right? He thought, I don't know.
Bartoloni.
Right? Panay, right?
Horrible. We're horrible.
Panay Rose.
Clearly we don't know anything about soccer.
Right? We shouldn't, because we're Pakistani and Indian. Our teams never make the World Cup.
Don't.
But if it's a World Cup of cricket, then we know everything. So,
true. We're
playing soccer. We're kicking around the ball. They kick it to this Italian guy who's right on the edge of a hill near a forest. He sticks his foot out and he's like, hey, guy, oh, no. He sticks his hand out, bro, and he tips over. You know, like, people, I'm a little
Does he fall off the cliff?
Yo, it's like, I'm a little teapot, but he didn't do the handle right. No, he fell over, because he's a fat teapot, bro. He falls over, and you hear, ah! And we're just sitting there.
Done.
It's the longest timber you ever heard. Timber! And everyone's just watching. I'm like, oh, no. Like, no one's running to help him. I was kind of close, but I'm like, he's done. L.W.A.
But you said he was a big guy too, right?
L.W.A. was the best. He's like, yo, that's what he gets for showing off. So he falls over. Bro, he's on the ground.
I want to get L.W.A. on a podcast.
He's on the ground, and he's crippled. He's like, ah! And we're like laughing, right? He's like, and then he starts becoming the biggest Italian drama queen. Like, he's in an opera. He's like, oh, mamma mia, my knee, my ankle, it hurts. And then we're just like, shut up, calm down. We're like, shut up. L.W.A. walks up to him, no word of a lie, and he's like, stop being a poser, bro. Get up.
He is pretty gangster right now.
No sympathy. And the Italian guy's like, I can't move my leg. So then it took three guys. It took three guys to pick him up. Two were watching, me and L.W.A. Because I told L.W.A, listen, we don't want two injuries on the team. If I pick him up, I'm going to injure my shoulder. This guy's a big guy. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So then he had to sit down. But L.W.A, every time he walk over and see the Italian guy laying down, he's like, yo, why don't you get up, man? Stop faking. Be a man. And I'm like, yo, why are you so mean? He's like, yo, it's the L.W.A way. And I'm like, what are you going to do?
L.W.A. way?
I'm like, what are you going to do? He's like, I'm going to go up to him and put a gun to his ribcage and be like, you know, it really hurts this bitch. I'm like, bro, that was a movie. That was a movie.
This guy has issues, bro.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of rage.
I go, bro, that was just a movie, okay? And you're not part of that NWA movement. He's like, whatever, shut up, Azfar. If you don't shut up, you're next. And this guy...
Wow, like it's so gangster.
Yeah, and you know what made it so less gangster? He had an e-cigarette. So every time he talked to me, he'd take a puff. You know, like... And you know what's even worse? He had flavored e-cigarette fluid. And you know what the flavor was?
Tell me, apple? Strawberry?
Oh, chocolate, bro.
What?
So he's like running his mouth, and then he'll like blow a Hershey kiss in your mouth. Yo, bro, that's called the kiss of death. L.W.A. on its way. It was the most ridiculous. Yo, but I think this rant's gone on too long. I'll wrap it up. The one thing that made me angry, my flight was booked, return trip, for something that I don't take pride in. And bro, Bean Brown, I don't even want to be traveling, period, on this day. September 11th.
Yo, that's a dangerous day
is
for
the
us.
day. Listen, I'm flying back. do you not understand? My people, not me particularly, but not even my stupid people.
Stupid people.
Decided that was the day to go cray-cray, right? And my manager thought it was a good day to fly.
Send you back.
Yeah. So he books me on a flight. I'm going on September 11th. I'm panicking because I'm not allowed to fly on regular days because my name is on that special list.
Oh,
you know where they do the wheel of discrimination? Tick, 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 tick. Ahmad, Ali, Ali, right? So my name's on that wheel. I'm like, I'm never going to make it. They're like, you get 2 hours to go to the airport. I'm like, bro, it's September 11th. Drop me off there on the Wednesday. I'll be lucky if I make it through security on September 11th. If they let me fly.
But you were doing a domestic flight.
One Ali is too many. Bro, I don't care. International terrorism, domestic terrorism, I'm not a fan of it at all. I was just so nervous, bro. And the problem was, I couldn't be nervous. Because if I was nervous flying, that's going to make everyone... Imagine I walk in, nervous. I'm like, oh, man, I'm not sure if I can... Then they're going to be like, this terrorist...
This terrorist is so scared.
Some people are going to be happy because they're like, oh, this guy can't go through with it. And then some people are like, oh, no. He just doesn't know how to go through with it. Like, they're just so nervous and scared. They're so tense. You know what I mean? They're like, ah!
But why were you so nervous? Because of the date and flight?
Yeah.
But you're not, you're too paranoid,
It
man.
doesn't...
I wouldn't fly on that day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't fly on that day.
You idiot.
I wouldn't even fucking drive.
Bro, you wouldn't even wake up to go to the bathroom because you're so scared.
I wouldn't.
You're so scared.
That day is just messed up for everybody.
Yo, it's so... So I get to the airport. I somehow make it to customs. I find out my flight is canceled. But I look behind me and I'm like, you know what? There's 7 brown people on this flight. That's 7 brown people too many. That makes sense. I'm like, I'm for discrimination. I gave the wink to the booking agent. I'm like, good call. 5, 7, that's too much. Too much. So then they're like, you're going to have to go to the ticketing booth. So I run over to the ticketing booth. There's this brown guy who goes ahead of me and they're like, sir, you're a priority. I go, priority for what? I hope they're gonna question him. I hope they're gonna throw him in jail. So he's a priority to get his ticket booked. But then I look beside him. He's with a white guy. That's what you do, brown people. You fly with a white guy. And this white guy wasn't even priority. He was economy. But he looked over to the brown guy and he's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go with the priority line. And they won't turn me away. And he was right. Bro, I stepped. I stepped to motion towards the priority and they're like, hey, get over to the economy. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Bro, I wasn't even going. I was just moving a little off path. And they're like, hey, get back to where you belong.
But this white guy just walked through?
Yeah, and then he got the brown guy booked. And the brown guy was so happy. He's like, yay, hooray. So then
J-Ho,
way to go. Thanks, David.
David, not Steve.
Like, he was so excited. So I get a plane ticket booked, but it's for the Island Airport, right? And I've never flown the Island Airport from Toronto. So it's like, oh my God. My main concern was there television? Like, I was scared. I was like, I can't.
How long is the flight?
An hour. But come on.
What's wrong with you?
What am I doing? Listen to our podcast?
Yes.
So I was nervous. I'm like, I don't read. I don't have anything to listen to. I don't know who I'm going to sit beside. They're going to probably get nervous. So I was just so paranoid. So I was like, excuse me, is there any television? And they're like, there's no televisions. The next flight, if you want a television, is 5 hours ago. TV's not that good. So I get booked on it, but I don't realize she books me on standby for that flight in case it gets canceled to book me on another. So when I'm going through customs, I give them my boarding pass, and he's like, Mr. Ali, why do you have 2 boarding passes? And I was like, I wasn't aware of this.
You must have freaked out.
I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, why do you have 2 boarding passes? And I was getting nervous because it's September 11th, right? I'm like, oh my God, he thinks I'm an Indian terrorist. I'm getting 2 terrorist deals for the price of 1. Like, he thinks I'm so greedy, right? 1 is not enough. He started sweating, but then he looked at me and he's like, oh, probably standby. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And then I got through.
Yo, firstly.
And then, listen, when I got on the plane.
Tell me more.
When I got on the plane, I realized that it's the best day for brown people to fly. You know why? Because white people want to be your best friend. They are so nervous. The minute I got on the plane, it was like I was a black person facing discrimination back in the day, right? I was just sitting there. People were like, it was clearly marked on their ticket that they had to sit beside me. And they're like, F6, F's? Oh, okay. Is there room with the live animals? G's, F. Oh. I'll lie on the aisle. People can step on me. It will be less painful.
I just don't want to sit next to this guy.
So I had an empty seat, bro. It was so good. And then I looked over, and there was this one white couple, and I could see the guy didn't want to make eye contact, and he was so nervous, and he was just like, Nancy, is he looking at us? Is that guy looking at? And I'm like, yo, and I was so concerned. I'm like, this guy have like Tourette's? Like he keeps on moving his head. Like, is this guy listening to indie music? Like, what's going on here? Right? And then I could just tell because he whispered to his wife. He just looked at her, and I'm pretty sure this is what he said. He's like, listen, Nancy, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to suck his dick and take one for the team. You know, he's looking to blow himself up. Why don't you give him a blow? You know. He's waiting for those 72 virgins.
Give him a head start.
Why doesn't one experienced wife of 32 years just pleasure him for, what is it, an hour? Come on, Nancy. Like, I could just, and I look over, and then he was just happy the rest of the way. But you know what pissed me off is priority. I kept on looking at priority, and I was like, why can't I sit there? And I was like, I'm going to be the goddamn Rosa Parks. I'm going to get up and forget about the back of the bus. I'm going to go to the front of the plane. And who's going to argue with me on that day, on September 11th?
Yo, but that's risky. If you just get up and decide, I want to sit there.
Air Marshal hits me.
You're done.
Air Marshal hits me. I'm done. Long story short, I finally land in that airport, that kooky island. I get out. I start talking to the security, and I'm like, yo, where's the baggage come out? They're like, oh, it's just one place. I go there. Bro, there's one luggage cart. But you know at regular airports, with a luggage cart, they have the number of the flight.
Oh, yeah.
So you know, common sense, you come out, you're like, oh, Air Canada 4382. That's me. Bro, there's no numbers.
They're just rolling, all of them are rolling in the same...
So you're just staring at people hoping that they were on the same flight. I'm like, yeah, that old guy could have been on my flight. And I started discriminating. I'm like, all old people look the same. I wouldn't know any better. Okay.
What about Nancy?
So then, who?
The girl, the lady.
The
white couple who was next to you.
They probably took off, bro. They probably jumped out.
Screw the luggage.
They're like, Charlie, save her, and we jump out of the plane.
I was like, you were going to get blows. I might as well just say, you were like, let me just check her out and picture her.
I was just concerned about getting home. So then I'm sitting there, and I noticed 10 minutes later, all the luggage just stopped. So I was like, oh, there's something wrong with the machine. So then I go over the lady who's handling the baggage. And I'm like, oh, I noticed there's no more luggage. She's like, yeah. So what do you want me to do? And I'm like,
attitude?
I'm like, yeah, I had luggage. She's like, no, you didn't. And I'm like, I think I had luggage. She's like, well, then come with you. And I go, obviously. She's like, oh, okay then. And I'm like, what do you mean, okay then? I need that stuff. And she's like, oh, let me check. She looks at the computer and she's like, oh, don't worry, it's on another flight. I'm like, where's the flight? Oh,
because you were on standby, so you probably went on the flight after.
No, not even. So I'm like, is it a flight coming into Toronto? She's like, she paused, bro, and I got nervous. I'm like, is this in Mexico? Are these Mexicans selling my stuff? She's like, oh yes, it's coming, but in 40 minutes. So then I told her, I go, what happens if it doesn't come on that flight? She's like, don't worry about it. You can fill out this form, and then we'll deliver it to your house. And I'm like, perfect. How long will it take? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? She's like, we give it to the delivery company, not a Purelator because they would know, but somebody else. She's like, we give it to the delivery company, and then they decide when they want to ship it. I go, what kind of policy is that? So could that be 2 days, 3 days? She's like, 2 weeks, 2 months. I'm like, what? She's like, I don't know. And then I got really mad. I'm like, do you think that's a fair answer?
No, that's stupid.
Right?
She probably doesn't know her job.
And then I go, listen, I'm going to wait here, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm very upset. But then in the back of my mind, I'm like, you know what, it's September 11th. Made it. No, I was like, I made it, but my luggage didn't. 1 out of 2 ain't bad for a bag on September 11th. So that's how the story ended, and I was very happy. So that's my very long rant. It's been 27 minutes.
I think it was worth it.
A very painful experience. And I didn't even tell you half of the details. There's other ones I can't remember.
No, that's pretty good.
But I think that's the wrap. Unfortunately,
it's a wrap.
The rest of our Rickshaw Rampage podcast this week, we recorded over our own voices somehow. That's technology. It hates us. So this is just one big rant about my experience.
That's it. I'm happy with that because after 11 episodes, you decided you jump in and do your own rant, which was, I'm really proud of you. It came out of your system, which is great. So guys,
it's still in my system.
No, let's not go back in that role. Guys, it's a wrap. I'm Zulf the Wolf.
Yo, I'm Azfar. This has been the Rickshaw Rampage podcast number
12.
Peace.
Peace.